Have you ever heard of a flame that burns for centuries, even millennia, without any fuel? It sounds like something straight out of a fantasy novel, but history is filled with perplexing accounts of these so-called eternal flames. From ancient temples to sealed tombs, mysterious lights have been reported, defying all known laws of physics. Today, we are diving deep into one of history's most fascinating and fiery enigmas, the lamps that never went out. What were they? How did they work? Could they have been real? Our story begins in ancient Rome. The historian Plutarch wrote about a lamp that supposedly burned at the entrance of a temple dedicated to Jupiter Ammon. According to his accounts, the priests claimed it had been burning continuously for centuries, untouched by wind or rain. Think about that for a second. A flame exposed to the elements that never extinguishes. How is that possible? But this wasn't an isolated case. Similar stories pop up all across the ancient world. In Greece, the geographer Pausanias described a golden lamp in the temple of Minerva Polias in Athens. This lamp, he said, was filled with oil only once a year, yet it burned day and night for the entire year. The wick was made of a special type of asbestos, a material they called Carpathian linen, which was known for being fire-resistant. While this explains the wick not burning away, it doesn't explain how a single filling of oil could last 365 days. Was it an incredibly large lamp? Or was there some other technology at play? The mystery deepens when we travel to ancient Egypt. The idea of an eternal light in a sealed tomb is a powerful one. It symbolizes the eternal life of the pharaoh, a light guiding them through the darkness of the afterlife. Legends of these tomb lights are numerous. When the tomb of Pallas, the son of King Evander, was supposedly opened in Rome in the 15th century, a burning lamp was allegedly found at the head of the sarcophagus. It was said to have been burning for over 2,000 years. The story goes that when exposed to the air, the mysterious flame flickered and died, leaving only questions behind. Similarly, there are tales from India and China of ever-burning lights in sacred places. In these accounts, the lamps were often seen as divine miracles, a sign of a deity's presence or a sacred trust, passed down through generations of guardians. But could there be a scientific explanation behind these seemingly supernatural phenomena? Were our ancestors hiding a form of advanced technology we've since forgotten? Let's put on our investigator hats and explore some of the theories. One of the most popular ideas revolves around natural gas. Many of these ancient temples were built in geologically active areas. It's possible that a continuous natural seepage of methane or other flammable gases from the earth could have fueled these flames. A cleverly designed lamp could have been placed over a small, undiscovered fissure in the ground, creating a flame that would burn as long as the gas supply lasted. This would explain why they could burn for centuries without any apparent fuel source. It's a plausible theory, especially for temples like the one at Delphi, which was known for its mysterious vapors. Another fascinating theory involves chemistry, specifically phosphorescence and chemiluminescence. Some researchers have suggested that ancient priests and alchemists might have discovered chemical mixtures that could glow in the dark for extended periods. Imagine a sealed container in a dark tomb filled with a compound like phosphorus. It would glow with an eerie, cool light, which could easily be mistaken for a flame by someone entering the tomb after thousands of years. This wouldn't be a hot, burning fire, but a cold light. This theory fits well with descriptions of some lamps that gave off no heat and could be extinguished by water. Then there's the electricity theory. This one is a bit more out there, but it's captured the imagination of many. Proponents of this idea point to artifacts like the Baghdad battery, a terracotta pot containing a copper cylinder, and an iron rod dating back to ancient Mesopotamia. Some believe this could have been a primitive galvanic cell, capable of producing a small electrical current. Could a series of these batteries, or a more advanced version, have been used to power a primitive light bulb?
Perhaps an electric arc lamp.
It's a stretch, and mainstream archaeology is highly skeptical, but it's a tantalizing thought. To imagine ancient electricians, masters of a forgotten science, wiring tombs to light the way for their pharaohs into eternity. However, we also have to consider the power of legend and misinterpretation. Many of these stories were written hundreds of years after the events they describe. They were passed down orally, embellished with each telling. A simple oil lamp that was diligently refilled by priests could, over centuries of storytelling, transform into a magical, self-sustaining flame. The discovery of a tomb might have revealed shiny, reflective objects that, in the flickering torchlight of the discoverers, looked like a glowing lamp. A pocket of trapped swamp gas igniting upon opening a tomb could also create a flash of light, sparking a legend of an eternal flame that was extinguished by the fresh air. The Rosicrucians, a secretive philosophical society, claimed to possess the secret of creating these ever-burning lamps. They wrote extensively about it in the 17th century, describing complex alchemical formulas. They believed the flame was not a normal fire, but a concentration of elemental light, a pure astral essence. They claimed the fuel was a specially prepared, refined form of gold or other materials that could be resolved back into pure energy. Of course, they never fully revealed their secrets, and their claims remain unproven, adding another layer of mystique to the puzzle. So, what's the most likely answer? It's probably a combination of things. It seems very likely that some of the eternal flames, especially those in open-air temples, were fueled by natural gas vents. The engineering genius of the ancients shouldn't be underestimated. They were masters of their environment. For the sealed tombs, the idea of a chemical reaction, a phosphorescent substance glowing in the dark, is also a very strong contender. It would explain the lack of heat and smoke, and why the flame would die when exposed to the changing atmosphere outside the tomb. And of course, we can't discount the human element of myth-making. The idea of a light that conquers the darkness of death is incredibly powerful. It's a story we want to believe. It speaks to our desire for permanence, for something that endures beyond our own fleeting lives. Ultimately, the ancient eternal flames remain one of history's great unsolved mysteries. Were they miracles, forgotten technology, or clever tricks? Perhaps the truth is a tapestry woven from all three. These stories force us to look at the past with a sense of wonder, reminding us that our ancestors were not as simple as we sometimes assume. They had their own knowledge, their own science, and their own secrets, some of which may be lost to time forever. The fire may have gone out, but the mystery continues to burn brightly. What do you think is the most plausible explanation? Natural gas, ancient chemistry, or something else entirely? Let me know your theories down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into history's greatest mysteries.